Hello people, I'm Majda-Mudafar. Today I will talk about the reading Shakespeare's Sister by Virginia Woolf. Oh, before I forget, I will move you guys back and forth through some events, so give me your attention please. But first, the paper in front of you is feedback from me. You don't have to write your name, and I will collect them at the end of the presentation. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them, don't be shy. And now we're good to go. Virginia Woolf was not a very known writer. Woolf was born in 1882 in England. She was a modernist writer and a member of Bloomsbury Group. They are a group of influential English writers and artists and philosophers. Woolf was a product of modernism and she shaped modernism. Virginia Woolf wrote mostly about women's rights. These are some of her readings about women's rights. First, Mrs. Dalloway. Second, To the Lighthouse. Third is Orlando. And finally, A Room of One's Own. And by the way guys, the book A Room of One's Own is the book that the reading Shakespeare's Sister came from. Now let's talk about Renaissance, which occurred between the 14th and 17th century. Renaissance was considered the bridge between the Middle Ages and modern history. Men were educated, or they were investing things. Their knowledge about art and science got wider and wider. Of course, all of these good stuff were just for men. Women were mothers. They couldn't work, they were not educated, and they couldn't think. And their husbands were selected by bands. Besides that, they had to marry as soon as possible. On the other side, writers made fiction women have the same right as men, if not more. Fiction stories pictured women as strong people that had choices in their lives, and no one can force them to do anything they didn't want to do. Now finally, let's go to the reading Shakespeare's Sister by Virginia Woolf. William Shakespeare is a very known writer. He wrote novels and plays such as Macbeth and many others. For Shakespeare and many other men in the 16th century, talent plus passion equals fame. But for women, talent plus passion equaled nothing. What if Shakespeare had a sister and she was as talented and as passionate as he was? Her name was Judith Shakespeare. Judith was really young, she's not 17 yet. She loved reading and writing, but in the 16th century, women were not allowed to learn. They had to marry and get kids, that was about it. Here comes the surprise. Judith had a marriage proposal. Her dad said yes to the groom without even asking her. Judith couldn't do that and get angry, and she couldn't do that and get sad, and she couldn't even do that and think of a way out of this crisis. Judith got married and had a baby. She lost her passion and hope of life, and that was not the end of the story. Judith Shakespeare committed a suicide because she couldn't achieve her dream of being a writer. And an unknown bishop once said, no woman could have written Shakespeare's plays. Woolf completely agreed with them, but it was for one simple reason. Women were not taught at that period of time. They couldn't even hold a pencil. They were punished if they did. This situation with women not allowed to be taught occurred until World War I. Men went to war and most of them died there. Women had to work because they needed food and money. For fiction, imaginative work that is not dropped like a pebble upon the ground as science may be. Fiction is like a spider's web, attached ever so lightly perhaps, but still attached to life at all four corners. This quote might have several meanings, but the one I got that women in fiction are known for us better than real women, such as Lady Macbeth from the famous play by Shakespeare Macbeth, and Miss Marple from several of novels by Agatha Christie. They are known for us better than real women.
created using Powtoon.